everybody. It's Friday, October 2nd. I'm Gaye Ann, host and producer of Between the Sheets podcast. Thank you for joining us this evening. We'll talk about the shitstorm that happened last week. It started with the debate, and then it ended with Trump and his wife having COVID. But by the way, Biden tested negative. So as that was going to be any surprise, vote blue, vote blue, vote blue. We'll talk about my conspiracy theories because I know I've all been seeing, everyone's been talking about it online. But we are here. Follow me on Instagram, QTEBrat, and please like our Between the Sheets Facebook page. Between the Sheets podcast. So original. Anyway, we've got a different bunch of ladies here tonight. We'll start with the regulars and then we'll bring on the others. Cara Noble, how are you, my love? How are you been?
Good, been really good. I've been doing a lot of work at home, in the garage and in the garden. I've replanted all my tomatoes. Everything looks lovely out there. All good. Come and swim in the pool.
I will. Sunday I will be there. Thank you very much. It's going to be, I think, hot as hell again. Yes. Then we have Mara Shane.
Hi. How's everybody doing?
That's all you have to say is hi.
Hi. Did you hear Trump's in the hospital?
Oh, he is? That I did not hear.
Yes.
I'm so sorry. Cheryl Murphy is in the house.
Gaye Ann, it's great to be back. Everybody, it's so great with this new panel of ladies tonight. Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you. We have Jenny McNulty.
Hey, looks very strange.
What's going on?
I love that.
We're going to get that out of there. Sorry. Hi, guys. I am Jenny McNulty, even though I'm looking really weird. Now I'm back. We'll fix all this. Hi, guys.
I like you. I love to see you.
Oh, excuse me. I forgot to say hello. And I love the fact, Cara, that you mentioned garden and garage and tomatoes. We are going to have a delightful show. I will not stop talking like this. Don't ask me to. I shan't.
I think we should all talk British for this.
We should.
Oh my God.
Lovely.
So
we love tomatoes. It's true.
Tomatoes, potatoes, who knows? But hey, cool news. Right before Jenny texted me, he goes, hey, what are you doing on Monday? Want to be on Pandemic Password? And I'm like, yeah, had to move a CBS call for it because I love that show. So thank you so much, Jenny.
Thank you for doing it.
Thanks.
I won't tell us all.
Yeah, no one else will know either. Shh. Also, now we have a very good friend of mine. She is the initiator founder of the Hollywood Times. She is has a beauty with the pen and beauty with the word, and it's Valerie Milano is joining us this evening.
Ladies, hi viewers. I'm looking forward to a really fun show with my friend Fiona and my friends behind the scenes. So thank you for having me, Gaye Ann.
Well, you're welcome. Thank you. Now, all right, I'm going to introduce the guest. You know that I hate this part. It's just too much, and it's just blah, 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 blah. But Fiona, I met Fiona very briefly the first time at a Woman on a Roll event. Yes, at a theater, at the Gay and Lesbian Center. And a friend of mine said, don't you know Fiona? And that was Diane Viox. I said, I do not. And she's like, oh, you have to get to know her. You have to get her on your show. I'm like, okay. And then obviously I've seen her other times. When I started my Facebook live chats, she started what is now known as her Corona Life Poetry, Left Coast Lesbian Lunch, Crying in Bed with Fiona show. And it is on daily at 1 p.m. Pacific on her Facebook page, Fiona Goodwin. We'll talk about that. But then I started watching that, and then I was hooked. But prior to that, she is an LA-based stand-up comedian. She's a high school behavioral specialist on the TV show Britain's Worst Teenager. That was pre-COVID, I'm sure, right?
Oh, my goodness. Pre-America.
Pre-America.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God, you were a missionary in Honduras.
Wow.
Kissed a girl there in the jungle while wearing a Satan costume. God, there's going to be so much we're going to have to talk about. Got indulged in tea and scones in the Cotswolds and tea in Peru. Is that ayahuasca?
Mm-hmm.
Me too. I did that too. She touched the kindergartens in Florence. Falling in love with an Australian cellist. Oh, and this is big sigh, everybody. Oh. She
Oh.
enjoys cycling in France, eating churros in Nerja, fishing in Positano, and drinking Moet Chandon in Hollywood. Are you single? What you are describing what I want from my life. I know this this finger is not spoken for Fiona. If you are wondering which one of these is the real Fiona, the answer is all of them. She is an adventurer, but she also has a very funny show, which I have not seen yet, but so many women have told me about it. And I think I had tickets and I was going to see it, but then I think COVID happened. So the shows were postponed. And that is a very British lesbian. It's a solo play about saving one's own life. So, plus, you're like a psychologist too, aren't you? Like a brainiac person?
It's like a psychotherapist.
Yeah. So you sort of have like the left brain and the right brain working at the same time.
Yeah, mostly right. Some
Yeah,
left.
me too. I mean, my brain sometimes works, but I see where you're going. So,
Yes.
like, how did you, let's see, I don't even know how to start. When you were a child, I mean, like, what did you want to be, like when you grew up, and how different is that path than where you are now?
Right. Well, first of all, can I just say I feel like I'm on the L word.
Yes. Mighty Shane.
What a stunning group of women. I know some of them are straight, which is unfortunate, but who knows after time. Anyway, so yes, your question, Gaye, was what did I want to be as a child? What I wanted to be as a child was a grown-up, so I could get my own place. That's it, really. That was my goal, to get out.
I mean, was your family life not great, or?
It was. I mean, Mum did her best. Single mum, traumatized. I do this thing where I just go immediate into heavy. Mum was traumatized by being evacuated during the war, and she brought that all to our family. And then father left, and she was troubled. So yeah.
Wow.
Answer the question.
Wow. Second question, which is a little lighter. What's your sign, Fiona?
Pisces.
Ah, Pisces, a water sign. All right. Well, how did you? I mean, what you don't understand, and is I'm a little kinetic and ADHD, so we go all over the place. But so does everybody else on this thing. So, how did you come up with the play, A Very British Lesbian?
Well, I impersonated a straight person probably till I was about 48, and not privately, obviously. And then when I came out, I suddenly realized I was a stand-up comic. Who knew? Not everybody knows that, even now, but never mind. And then I started doing spoken. I realized I wanted to perform. I came out at 48 and suddenly thought, oh my goodness, I want to perform. So I did a show called A Very British Exorcism, which was the reenactment of a couple of my exorcisms. I say my exorcisms. I mean, they were exorcisms being done to me to help me, to release me from the curse of being a homosexual.
Are you kidding? No,
Wow. Was that your parents telling you to do that, or why did you do that?
They didn't know any of this was going on. I went to the church because they were kind to me, and they always were kind to me.
The Catholic Church?
What's that? It was a fundamentalist, happy clappy. I can speak in tongues.
And they told you that you needed to be exercised, and then you couldn't be a lesbian anymore.
Didn't you know that, Cara?
Well, no, I didn't know that about you. I know it happens. Because I've seen Religulous.
Yeah, and maybe it could work the other way, Cara. Do you know what I mean?
No.
Just saying, not straight, right?
You're right. Never say never. I agree.
We could cast out the spirit of straightness.
Yes.
I know I saw you in Provincetown, and I know that part of your act is the nunnery. You're going to join the nunnery. So what do you think about that? Is it easier to be the nun than a lesbian?
Well,
they're one and the same thing.
Nuns wear funny clothes, and they have outlandish beliefs. They spend a lot of time on their knees. It's not that different.
That's what I said. So everyone, if you want to talk to any of us, especially Fiona, you can call in 323-524-2599. 323-524-2599. Hey, Tony, can you run that number too while we're on, so I don't have to keep repeating it if people want to call? Again, if you're on, just hold on. We'll get to you. Don't hang up. If you get disconnected, please call back. 323-524-2599. So Val, you had another question. I know you did.
I was just curious too, I know that you performed at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, and I just want to say I'm volunteering to go help you next time promote. But I want you to talk about a little bit of the European, your fans and the difference between the Americans and the Europeans.
Mm-hmm. You mean the American lesbians or the... Well, obviously,
yes.
As a whole.
Yes, as a whole. Well, the Americans drive mostly on the right, and the Europeans drive on the left, but some of them don't. So anyway, but that's, but in terms of audience, the British have hysterics when I tell them that at the Comedy Store in LA, before you go in, am I right, Jenny? There's a sign saying, "No heckling."
Oh, for goodness sake!
Yes.
So the British think that's hysterically funny.
Yeah, it is.
What is the point of having a comedian who can't heckle? Anyway, so apart from that, the British are they are slower to laugh. The Americans, I have the advantage of the accent, and if you have this accent, basically you are more intelligent. You're just, everything's better with this accent. My life, I'm happier because I have this accent. You get a pass here. People laugh at things you say because they're expecting you to be Monty Python or something. Mm-hmm. So for a while, people really thought I was really, really funny. I mean, obviously they found out later that I wasn't that funny, but I was quite funny. Still am a little bit funny sometimes. It happens. But the Brits and the people in Britain, particularly in what's so great about Scotland, people come from all over the world. In fact, I have on my poetry, Left Coast Lesbian poetry show, I have somebody on the show who was at the Edinburgh Festival, and apparently Jenny, they were watching. They're Australians. They're watching with her wife. They were watching the football match and they were trying to get a look at you, right? And I was running up and down like they basically come from Australia to see you, okay? All the way to Provincetown. And I'm running up and down the pitch and they're getting annoyed with me because I'm blocking the view of you, right? So anyway, so a little bit later, I'm actually talking to them. I stepped on this woman's foot twice and almost fell into her wife's lap. And they were really just like, they couldn't believe it. But it was only later on that we found out that they are people that I've met. They are on the poetry show, but they are obsessed with you.
Well, there are a lot of crazy people out there, Fiona. What can I say?
Oh, no. Hey, guess what? We have our first caller. Ooh. Tony, patch him in. Hello, welcome to Between the Sheets. What's your name? Hello? Hello? There's a party. Come in. Who's calling? Hello? What's your name? Hello?
I don't think that's going anywhere.
I don't think so either. Let's hang up, and if they want to call
someone's
up.
Pants called you, Fiona. Or their slacks. Or trousers. Would you call them trousers?
Yeah, sides, mate. Sides.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, Fiona, what part of England are you from?
Like you know, Gaye Ann. I'm kidding. I'm just kidding.
Hold on. I lived there for 1 year.
I'm kidding.
Good.
I started in Hertfordshire, Hereford, and no, not really, Hertfordshire. And then we moved to Cambridge. And then I moved to Warwickshire. And most recently, I lived in London.
Living on the edge then?
Oh, always.
Difference between British lesbians and American lesbians?
Well, apart from the side of the road they drive on, they are British lesbians. I don't find. I mean, there isn't a lot of glamour in the lesbian community here, apart from on this show. I mean, look at you. I can't believe it. But they're more kind of hearty and sort of just more British, I suppose. They're just like less, they're more, they won't get super dressed up for things.
Seriously? See, now I always thought Europeans, and obviously, that they would more than the Americans.
Right. Well, if they are going out to a really special do, when I had some friends come to Hollywood when I was first here, and they arrived wearing their little black dresses, which is the uniform if you're going out for dinner or something, just a little black dress. That's it. Right. With high heels. My neighbors thought I was going to a funeral. They couldn't understand why people. So there's that extreme. If it's a really, if it's a gala or something like that, yes, the little black dress.
What are the gay nightclubs like? Because when I was there in the 80s. I don't particularly, I wasn't gay. Right. The club that I hung out with the most, and probably the only one, was Tramps. So, but that was a straight private club. Right. So I never really went in the mainstream because I was a little bit of a snob back then. So what are like lesbian clubs like in London?
I have no idea.
You've never went?
Called the Sombrero.
The straight ladies probably know better. The college better than I do. But
he can tell you what the convents are like there, though.
Right, exactly. What? After a certain hour, the nuns just bring down a disco ball. Does it really matter?
Talk for hours about the convent, but but no, as I said, I was impersonating a straight person. Right. So if I saw a lesbian or someone who looked, who maybe had short hair and big boots, I would just, I would walk on the other side of the street.
Wow.
I was that frightened. Not obviously in my 40s, but.
Well, how old were you? Okay, here, hold on. We have another caller named. Yay. Hold on, let's see what's her name. Hold on. Her name is Patricia Ferrari. Oh, she's one of my tribe. Let's say hello. Patricia?
Hey.
Hi, welcome to Between the Sheets. I'm sure you have a question for Fiona.
Oh, I don't have a question, Fiona. I am just supporting Fiona because she is so beautiful.
Oh.
I was also at the Provincetown football game last year too. I sat behind Susan Aston.
Really?
And Jenny McNulty was the cutest referee of them all.
Oh.
But were you fighting to see Jenny McNulty, or were you fighting to see me, Patty?
I was actually looking at the football game, watching all the hot women play football.
There you go. Right. For the record, I've given up the referee. Karen O'Donnell was the ref because everyone yelled at me too much the past few years. I'm like, shut up. This is fun. They take it very, very seriously. So I was the announcer.
Wow.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
I want to say Patty has written some beautiful poems for the poetry show.
Oh.
And, really
inspired by Fiona's awesome poem.
Yeah, my awesome.
Hey, Patty, where do you live? Where are you calling from?
Pittsfield, Massachusetts. It's the Berkshires.
Yes. You're one of my tribe. Are you Italian?
Yes.
You're one of my tribe. Welcome. Well, if there's anyone else that wants to talk to Patty, or Patty, you have any questions for anybody else, please do. Otherwise, I really appreciate you calling, supporting Fiona, and checking out Between the Sheets. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. This is my first podcast call, so this is a big deal for me, too.
Yay.
Hey. Kind of,
for us,
I was
too.
kind of scared to call because Fiona said you guys were so smart, and I was like, ooh, should I call in or not? So I was like, I got to call in.
You know
We're
what?
not really smart. We've just learned to talk like this. That's what it is.
Frankly, if this is your first podcast, I love that Between the Sheets has broken your cherry. So thank you.
Hey, go to Provincetown for Women's Week for all of us because we can't go. So go right up and down the street.
I know. I think I may. I just may.
Yay. Thanks for calling.
Thanks for
have a good one, guys.
Hey, everybody. Bye. Oh, we have two callers. We're just going to keep getting them. Okay, Tony, coming on next. Hello? Christy, Kirby, are you on with us?
Hello, I'm here.
Hi, Christy. Welcome to
thanks,
the
Tony. Hi, I just wanted to say hi, Fiona, and thank you for all your heart and the workshops you do for us to help us. And I was curious about your ayahuasca journeys because my son wanted to take me to the beach and drop LSD, and I wanted to know what that was like.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I'm
no
not.
different.
I'm not an expert on the LSD. I think you'd have to talk to Jenny McNulty for that.
I gotcha.
But ayahuasca,
And
I recommend it.
It's more of a guided journey, though, right? Isn't it, Fiona? It's not like just, hey, I'm going to pop some and put in the Simpsons or anything, isn't it? More of a
journey. Yeah, it's a spiritual journey.
No, I mean,
so just in terms of dropping acid with your son, it might get weird. Just make sure someone there is like not dropping acid. That would be my suggestion.
I recommend supervision.
You've done ayahuasca, haven't you?
I have not done it. No, I mean, I've heard lots of stories, good and bad. So, but I'm not going to try it. There's some things you can't do. I'm never going to go skiing again. I'm never going to scuba dive again. I'm never going to do ayahuasca. I may go lesbian. I don't know.
Oh, we should.
Mara, we should. Hey, Cheryl, have you ever done, I mean, you're spiritual. Have you ever done
Yeah, no, I've never done it. I've heard both good and bad things, but I know that if like Fiona said, if you have a guide, and it's treated as a sacred ceremonial practice, it could really be quite profound.
It is.
Right?
And
life-changing.
Yeah, the vomiting kind of separates out the recreational users.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it was, Christy, are you still on the line? Do you have any other questions, sweetheart?
I'm still here, and I just wanted to say Fiona is awesome, and we all love her, and we're part of her tribe, and she does awesome workshops. So go to Fiona at FionaGoodwin.com, and you'll be coached forever. And her sparkling blue eyes are amazing. And the trend is blue. Vote blue.
Vote blue.
Yeah.
Thank you, Christy. Have a good evening. Thanks for calling in to Between the Sheets.
I'll pay you later.
Absolutely. Bye-bye.
Hi, we have another caller. We have Brenda. Brenda. Are you here, Brenda?
Friend, hi, Fiona.
Oh my goodness, look at this.
Yeah.
I just want Fiona to know that the tribe is here for her.
Oh.
Yes, Fiona, hi. Laura's here, and Maria, and Patty, and so many people are here for you. We love you so much and appreciate all you do for us.
Thank you, Bram.
And when you started the Corona Poetry Live, my first poem was about my anxiety and my insomnia. I was just going insane with COVID and all the worries. And now we're all in such a good place. I'm in a good place, a great personal journey and a spiritual one as well. And thank you for guiding me every day by being such a great role model for us all.
Oh my
Love ya.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bram. Thank you, Bram.
Thanks, Brenda.
That was packed full of
Thank you. That's all.
love.
Speaking from my heart, Fiona.
You're so sweet, my love. Thank you.
So I need to know, what are these workshops, Fiona?
Yeah, exactly. I was going to go there. What do you do that you have profoundly changed people's lives?
Obviously, I've paid them. Don't even. No. So I started off with the Corona Live Poetry, and then there was clearly such a response because of COVID and people being where they were in the place they were in. So I said, let's have more intimate groups where I can also flip into the role of psychotherapist and to support people. So that we have workshops. I've got 2 going at the moment. Workshops with about 9 or 10 people in them. And then they do the workshops, and then they've decided they wanted to continue, so they keep it. So I just do them like really such a response because of COVID and people being where they were and the place they were in. So I said, let's have more intimate groups where I can also flip into the role of psychotherapist. I just heard myself to support people.
Something weird.
It was a really important point.
I was looking for it.
You're a ventriloquist.
I know. I'm like, what's going on? Okay. So anyway.
She sounds great.
Yeah.
Whoever she is, she's dateable and intelligent.
So bloody intelligent.
Oh, hold on. We have Rosella Gomez on the line.
Oh my goodness. Hi, Rosella.
Rosella, are you there? Tony, Tony, did you go bye-bye?
Can you? No, I'm here.
Oh, how are you? Welcome to Between the Sheets.
Oh, thank you. This is awesome.
Would you like to say something to Fiona or impart any good words about Fiona? I feel like it's a Fiona roast this evening.
I would love to just say how beautiful Fiona looks and how lovely she is. She is just the most beautiful person, and she has the most wonderful soul. Her eyes just beam and shine with so much love and joy. And she's helped so many people.
Thank you, Rosella. You're so sweet.
Amazing.
You're so
Thank
sweet.
you, Rosella.
Rosella, can I tell them a little bit about you?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, so when Rosella first came on Corona Live Poetry Left Coast Lesbian Lunch Crying in Bed with Fiona show, she lost her job because of COVID. She had health issues and she lost her home. So that's how it was for her when she first came on, and so we've been able to support her as a tribe, which is great.
Oh,
that's beautiful.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you, Rosella.
Thank you, Rosella.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye, Fiona.
Bye, Rosella. See you soon.
So, Fiona,
Okay, hon.
do you have poetry? Do you have like a poem that you could read to us this evening?
Sure. Yeah, I could do that. I mean, I'm not a poet, you know.
What does it matter? You write. I've heard you.
I just came up with an idea to a way of keeping myself sane, and that's what happened. Okay, so I will have to go on my phone. So I don't do the show, by the way, every day. Now I only do it on a Monday and Friday.
Okay.
So the workshops, otherwise I wouldn't be able to do it all. So I hope you don't all hate me for all these lovely calls that are coming in.
Oh, they're beautiful.
Yeah, they are.
So this was my poem today. It's called Gone Girl. And she's in there somewhere, you know, the voice. She's been gone for a few days now. The first day she was missing, I wasn't that bothered, but everything was running fairly smoothly. And then I noticed a void, a cold space, as if a ghost walked by and took me with her. I went willingly, unconsciously, didn't put up a fight. I really need her back. She's the best part of me. I'll tell her I'm sorry and ask if we could talk. I know she'll be able to explain everything.
It is a wow. I like it. I'm going to start tuning in. We have Amy on the line. Tony, is Amy still here? Is it Amy? Was it Amy?
I'm still here. It's Amy from
Amy.
Boston.
Thank you from Boston. Welcome to Between the Sheets. What praise would you like to give Fiona in the next 3 seconds?
Well, okay. I guess I'll start by chanting because she likes when we chant for her, and it's Fiona, Fiona, Fiona.
Amy, I don't think that's helping. That's not helping the cause.
Not the start yet?
No, I just wanted to say, like, what Fiona's doing for a large number of women, mostly lesbians. We have a couple of male followers too, is really, you know, pushes us forward in a time that could really take us down. So I wanted to just thank her and tell her to keep doing the great work and keep offering the workshops to these wonderful people.
Thank you, Amy.
Well, thank you, Amy. I appreciate that. Thanks. We everybody does love Fiona. I mean, what's not to love about Fiona?
Oh, lordy.
Let's just make you squirm even more. Let's make you squirm.
You said nothing about my pretty blue eyes, though.
Was I supposed to say yes? Right. You're looking so fantastic, my lovely. Your eyes are shining like the blue of the sky.
Thank you. Good. Okay.
Yeah, we have.
I'll hold that compliment when I see you face to face again, Fiona.
Remember that. Remember her lovely blue eyes.
Oh, I can't forget them. I've seen them. Well, thank you so much, Amy. I appreciate you tuning in to Between the Sheets. Thank you so much.
Thank you all. Take care.
We have another caller, Lauren, and then we'll get to some Q&As on the show. So everyone listening, we want to talk to Fiona. But let's get Lauren next, and then we'll take a break on calls for a minute. Hi, Lauren. Welcome to Between the Sheets. Okay. Okay. Lauren, call in, and then when you call in later, just turn the volume down to the podcast because we cannot hear you. But thank you. So, Fiona.
Yes, I can only apologize.
No, don't worry about it. What do you think about everyone here saw part of the debate, and if they haven't seen the debate, I'm sure they saw clips of it. Fiona, what do you think? Who's going to win?
Oh, I don't really have words to describe what we saw. Who's going to win? I really don't know. I mean, I know Biden's 7 points ahead, but I mean, Trump's capable of pulling a rabbit out of a hat.
Hence, COVID. My opinion. Now, Mara said he was in the hospital, right?
Yeah. One of the things I'm really happy about is that when it came out about him having COVID, I was so relieved that people weren't saying, maybe there are people saying good or something like that. But I'm just so grateful that people are being civil, because this is an opportunity to demonstrate civility, and we have been missing it somewhat.
Even Biden's side of the, decided not to. Did you guys hear this? Decided not to post any of negative commercials against him for this time right now.
Wow,
I couldn't believe that.
That's beautiful.
Well, I mean, Biden is a gentleman. I mean, he really is a gentleman. I think, even in the way he conducted himself. I mean, think about like the way Trump was just going at him, and except for I think even when he said, "Shut up, man." I mean, that's probably all he got. You know what I mean? But that was still, very polite. I would have walked off the stage, but then I'm the hot-headed Italian, so it doesn't matter. But I I listened to it, and what bothered me is at some point, I didn't listen to what they were saying because the volume was just so deafening that I just couldn't, it's like I couldn't listen. It was hurting me. And I just hope, look, I don't hate Trump. I don't want him to suffer any horrible thing. Yes, he has COVID, but I don't want anything horrible to happen to him. I hope he recovers just like I would anybody wishing that had it. But I do not think he's fit to be president, period. So, vote blue. That's all I'm saying. Just me.
Are you going to get into your conspiracy theories about this?
Oh my goodness.
I've seen people talking about this, this is another tactic for Trump to, to win the election. Is just, he doesn't really have it, or I don't know.
Well, the conspiracy theorists are saying that, obviously, does he have COVID? Does he really not have COVID? Has he had COVID and just been keeping it quiet? Did he give the aide COVID? The aide COVID. There's all that, and it's like, and then does he have? Is he having COVID now because he doesn't want to, do any more debates right now, because of whatever reason? That he, does he? What's the other thing they were saying?
The other thing is his tax returns.
That's another thing.
Everyone feels sorry for him when he's just told the entire country that he's a thief and a liar.
And then the other thing is that, that there is a vaccine of some sort in the works, whether it's true or not. And then suddenly he'll be recovered from COVID and saying, see, I've been working on the vaccine. That comes in time. And therefore, when that comes in, guess what? It'll be a shoo-in for presidency because of people will think, oh my God, this is the president that has the cure for COVID. So again, this is all conspiracy theory. None of us know. Truly, if I was his campaign person, being a publicist, I would truly invent something that just gets dumped probably the night before, maybe the night before the election, that suddenly changes the landscape on COVID. And then, it's a no-brainer. Then anybody could run against him. Obama could have ran against him again. and he would have lost. So I think they've got something in their side pocket, but we'll see. We'll see. But like I said, I don't wish Trump any illness to get sick. I don't, because I think that's bad fucking karma. So period.
Can I talk to Fiona real quick?
Yeah,
Absolutely, Val.
Politics, but I just want to ask her because I know we're going to run out of time, and I really want her to talk about her psychotherapy because I have a daughter that's came out when she was in college, and she doesn't believe in labeling. And I know Gaye Ann has been really touched on this subject quite a bit. And with your psychotherapy, and I'm sorry if I'm changing subjects, but I really want to know personally that, you know, what is your opinion of this day and time for these kids growing up, if you want to call them that, and they don't want to be labeled? I mean, she basically said when she came out to me, I said, you know, well, are you gay? You know, she was in love with a woman. And she goes, Mom, we don't say that. She says, I can always change. I know you have a real work ethic with your kids that you work with. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Well, I think that I think you're absolutely right. This day and age, people don't want labels. Kids don't want labels. Why should they have labels? Why? The reason they don't need labels is because they can be fluid. They can go from one to the other. We couldn't have done that. I mean, I couldn't have done that. I mean,
But you did.
I did.
Not till later, though, right?
Not till last week. Yes, exactly. So it took me such a long time. But one of the reasons I didn't come out sooner was because I had the conviction that I was, you know, I read a lot of Carl Jung and Carl Rogers, and I had this conviction that if I healed my relationship with my mother, that I wouldn't be gay anymore. So I spent basically 48 years in therapy, training as a therapist, waiting for the moment when I would walk down the street and look at a guy and go, oh my God, it didn't happen. And then the thought of then coming out and then going back in the closet, or then saying, oh, but I'm not gay really. That would have just been so embarrassing. But now these kids, they don't care. And why should they?
Sorry, I think that there's that society and being in this day and age and the millennials, I mean, it's wonderful. You can see how much more enlightened that they are, but also we've come a long way. I mean, back when you were struggling with what you're struggling, you know, with this whole thing, it wasn't out there. It wasn't considered cool. It wasn't acceptable. So I think that, you know, your Val's daughter is lucky in a way that she's a part of this generation that is so much more cool with this.
It's not just generational, though. Yes, that's true, Mara. I completely agree with you. But if you look at different places in the country, it would still be an issue to, you know, to come out. You know, whether you wouldn't want the label just because you wouldn't want to be different in some places.
Yeah,
so.
Right. I agree.
So but, your daughter's very lucky to have you, to, you know, that you're so cool. And does it bother you that she doesn't want a label?
No, not at all. I just didn't know how to, I didn't know how to deal with it. And so that was the first thing that I said, you know, and so I'm happy that these kids nowadays, and that was just my first experience. And now I'm delving into it. And so I hear other kids saying the same thing. And it's because of the fluidity. And I get that. So,
I mean, but that's new now. I mean, but then, you know, but it all really is, I think whoever brought up, it depends on what part of the country, Jenny, because I mean, I'm 56, I'm going to be 57. And I grew up in New York and, you know, in the 80s. And I didn't practice, like I didn't actually go out and sort of explore my lesbianism or gayism.
You were not a practicing lesbian
at
the
time.
time?
I was not a practicing lesbian back then, but I knew I was different, and I knew I had a crush on girls. But at least like in the scene that I was in, and that was like, you know, the club scene in New York, there was a fluidity there, you know, and growing up seeing two men and two women together and a group of people together, enjoying each other. I mean, it was not taboo for me. So I think it made my transition into realizing, you know, this is who I am fundamentally okay, because I never saw it as anything bad. And even when I came out to my mother, obviously I think my mother, that relationship with moms, it was always, what did I do? For her, it was, what did I do? Well, you named me Gaye Ann to start with. Where else was I going to go? But, hello, but it wasn't like, like there's some really wrenching stories that we've all heard in the community where disassociation, excommunication, throwing the people out of the house. I mean, my mother wasn't thrilled about it. She thought she was to blame at first. And then right after that, there was a beat, and she goes, so I'll never get grandchildren, will I?
Oh, that's what my dad said.
Because I'm an only child. And I'm like, I'm not sure about that. But, but I think, the whole labeling thing, I'm glad that this generation is moving forward without labels for anything. Forget about sexuality, just about everything. It seems that this generation, even though entitled, feels entitled, that there is much more acceptance. But maybe it's because things are out in public more, where we had to kind of hide to some degree. I mean, what do you guys think?
I agree. That's what I didn't come out till really late, just because I never saw meat. I was, what was in the media was like big, scary women, and like I wasn't that. I wasn't attracted to that, so it kept me in the closet for a really long time until I, saw other people and things.
I blame the L word.
Yeah. You don't blame, you credit. You credit the L word, not blame.
Yes, credit. Don't blame.
Normal.
And I think that people are more willing to be vulnerable these days. They're starting to realize that vulnerability is a strength. It's an asset. And it's okay to, maybe show who you are, or to be original, be unique. And everyone's trying to find their own truth, So I do think that we are kind of agreeing on this now, that it's okay to kind of, if you're hurt, to show that, or if you're different, show that, or if you're the same. And then it turns out that we're all the same anyway, right? So, I mean, if we just keep being vulnerable, we'll really realize that coming together, how much we have in common, and how much we are all the same.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it's really important, especially now. I think when I was younger, I was a little bit more of a spitfire than I am now. I know, it's shocking. But I've calmed down a little bit. Man. Just a little tiny bit, as I've got, and menopause doesn't help, because I'm trying to calm down, and then all of a sudden that rage comes in with menopause. There's a mood swing, so I'm like imbalanced all the time. I keep saying to a friend of mine, I said, I'm sorry I'm such a bitch, menopause. But I think it is so important, like communication and wearing one's heart on their sleeve, and emotion, and just being out there and not looking for acceptance. I think our generation, we looked for acceptance from people. We people please just to be accepted. Whether you're gay or straight, I think that was our generation. I just think now, and even at my age, it's like, I don't care. This is who I am, and accept me or not. I'm not changing,
I think the people pleasing is a gender thing too. I think in general, especially our age, women feel like they've got to be more, pleasant and people pleasing, I think. But what is it like for you guys? Are you Karen, Fiona, are you like, you fucking whiny ass baby Americans? Is it the same there in terms of the fluidity and the acceptance that, I mean, I don't know how long it's been since you guys have even been back there to comment on it, but do you
go, Karen?
Well, a long time. I mean, I was there right up until 1999. Then I moved here, and of course I visit often. But it's hard for me to say, because honestly, it's not my world. The only thing I can comment on is that I have one son, and I tell him off all the time because he's not gay. What a nice gay boy, son, and he's not. So what I can tell you.
So I think, just like any country, you grow up in the countryside. I mean, you're the only gay in the village, so
I don't understand that.
They don't know. Little Britain. Did you see Little Britain? The show on TV.
Yes.
An English sitcom.
It's an English sitcom. I'm the only gay in the village. Anyway.
What's it called?
It's called Little Britain.
Oh,
A show called Little Britain. Anyway, so so you won't meet another lesbian necessarily living in the village, somewhere out in the middle of the, you know. And but if you lived in London, you'd be very much like more. I think the scene there is probably more active than Los Angeles. I mean, Los Angeles. Please tell me why there isn't a lesbian bar.
I was going to bring that up because I've been told about this, and it's just terrible. I'm so sorry for you all. It's not fair.
I came here expecting the L word, and I you know, there was Trader Joe's, there was the pet store, you know. Yeah, I couldn't find it anywhere.
Well, here's the thing. I mean,
Cara, I think it'd be really funny if you did finally get your gay son and he was like a beer drinking, sports watching, puts a hat on so he doesn't have to deal with his hair kid. You'd be like, what are you doing? You're supposed to decorate and do my hair. Sorry, Mom, game's on.
Oh, well, that would be very funny. And that would not happen.
Cara will get a gay grandchild. That's what she'll get. We have some callers. Hold on. Let me see. Tony said callers. We have callers whenever you want to take them. I want to take them now. Give me the first one, Tony.
No.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Between the Sheets.
Hello, thank you.
Who's calling?
My name's Elizabeth McCain, and I'm one of the Fionians.
Fionians. Oh, now there's a whole continent of them. Fionians.
Hi, Elizabeth McCain. How are you? Can I just say about Elizabeth McCain has an amazing show, and she's written a book, and it's called, tell me, Elizabeth.
A Lesbian Belle Tells.
Yeah, so she's from the
A
South.
Lesbian Belle Tells.
So she's got a great...
I'm one of the original lipstick lesbians. Let's bring the word lesbian back, y'all.
Oh. Hey, Valerie's from the South.
Yeah. Lesbian Belle.
Oh.
Come on. Like
oh.
Southern Belle, Lesbian Belle.
Who is? You
yeah.
Is that what you're saying? Okay, I couldn't catch it. That's great. That sounds interesting.
Yes.
But what's
and
your
we
book
love
about?
Fiona. We love her. My book is about my coming out journey and family estrangement and finding love and belonging and coming out in Washington, D.C. in the 90s.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Fiona is such an inspiration to all of us. We really enjoy it. And her workshops behind the mask have really helped us bond and have hope.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Oh, this is just
You're
fabulous.
welcome.
I know this is great. Thank you, Elizabeth. Elizabeth, right? No. Yes?
Yeah.
No?
Yes, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Elizabeth,
Next caller, Tony.
You're
Next.
welcome.
We have another one, Tone. Hello. Welcome to Between the Sheets.
Hello, I'm calling from Cootamundra, New South Wales, Australia. I'm one of Fiona's Fionians. My name is Venerable
Your
Tenzin
accent
Savion.
too. Oh my God, this is so sexy. Okay, go ahead.
Her name is Venerable Tenzin Savion. She's a Buddhist nun.
For real?
Oh, cool.
And someone just called me sexy, Fiona. Did you hear that?
I heard that. I'm blanking it. Don't worry. I'm blanking it. Can I tell you a little bit how you found us, Tenzin? Or do you want to say it?
Yes, please. Yes.
So Tenzin has an inoperable cancer, and when we first met, she was. I'm going to go back a bit. She was supposed to be with this April and Deirdre, who were coming to see you, Jenny. She was supposed to be at Provincetown with them, watching you. And instead, she decided to carry on. She's a big surfer on the sort of the semi-professional circuit, and so she decided to stay in Huntington Beach to surf. Anyway, you tell your story, Tenzin. I've talked a lot.
And I do apologise for that, Jenny, because I'd been hearing for a couple of years how hot you were from my friends Deirdre and April, and but no, the surf was more enticing. But I have a message from April. She's actually in hospital at the moment. The message from April is, you still are hot, Jenny, but she thinks Fiona's hotter. I'm sorry. But
Agreed.
And I have another message. My darling Fiona, I have messages from Brooklyn. She's here, age 7. She said to say that you are the prettiest lady on the panel today. and she loved you. And for all of you, I'm between the sheets as we speak, and I have a couple of lesbians in bed with me. So I'm having my own show over here.
Is it 1 o'clock in the afternoon over there?
It's something like that. I don't know what time it is. I have.
Tell us, what is tomorrow like?
I didn't hear that, sorry.
I said, tell us, what is tomorrow like?
What is tomorrow like?
It's
I'm not
Saturday.
understanding your question.
Yeah, she's funnier too. But
Jenny, she's Australian. Sometimes our humor just doesn't go over the
I mean, it's Saturday at 1 o'clock. It's still Friday night here. It was just a little joke about the time
Yes,
zone.
Saturday afternoon in Cootamundra, and it's a beautiful spring day. And I'm not very well today, so I have my doctor, who's a lesbian, and her partner in bed with me. So there you go.
Yeah. I like socialized medicine.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all hands on here.
That is taking house calls to a whole new level, though.
Whole new level.
It does.
Well,
I don't have time to die. No time to die.
None. Never time to die.
But Fiona, we love you, darling. Your beach tribe love you. I love you, and you look amazing. You all look amazing. I'm a happy old lesbian right now. I could die happy today, right now.
But you're not. So we wish you well.
Thank
do
you.
what you need to do in bed with the healers, and then tell us about it. And be safe, okay? Thank you for calling, Tenzin.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Tenzin.
Namaste. Bye.
Namaste.
Bye, darling.
Namaste.
We have Lauren. Lauren is calling back. Hi, Lauren. Are you calling again? Lauren, are you there?
Hello.
Hi, Lauren. How are you?
I'm not Lauren. I'm Maria.
Maria. Okay. Well, Lauren was calling back. I guess she's gone. So welcome, Maria, to Between the Sheets. How are you?
I'm very good, Paisan.
Paisan. Oh, you're one of my tribe too?
I'm one of your tribe. I want a Fiona's tribe as well. Yeah.
Well, we're all part of Fiona's tribe. Anyway. We should have a flag. The Fionians.
Is this Maria Concilia?
Yes, it is. Fiona, hello.
Hi, Maria. Lovely to have you on. Maria's very local, just over the hill here.
Like what part of the hill?
I'm in Chatsworth.
Oh, okay. You're on my side of the hill.
Oh, nice to hear. Exactly.
So what would you like to tell Fiona that you haven't told her before?
That I haven't told her before, except that I am so elated to find this tribe. It's helped me 1,000-fold.
Wow.
And I'm just so grateful.
Wow.
In so many ways.
Thank you, Maria.
Yeah.
Thank you, Maria. Yeah. I appreciate you checking Between the Sheets out. And I hope you and all the Fionians continue to watch. And if I have to get Fiona back to have all of you watch, that'll be wonderful, because she's always a pleasure. It's not time to go yet, by the way. All right, let's see. Thank you, Maria, for calling in. I think Tony is saying Lauren is calling back. We'll try Lauren again. Lauren, is this you? Lauren. Okay, Lauren's gone. She just got sick of Gaye Ann. Screw that. All right, 5 times a charm, Lauren. 5 times a charm. So tell me, Fiona.
Yeah.
So tell us what do you think, if you had to, and I don't listen to the show all the time. What is the biggest message that you have, sort of like your general mantra or your general message that you have for your show?
I've got lovely hair. I think the general message, well, the workshops I do are called Behind the Mask.
Yeah.
And and they're sort of COVID designed. And can I just tell you how it started?
Yes, please.
So how it started was I was sat in my apartment thinking, what am I going to do? And I'd been watching Tyler Henry on, his Hollywood show, The Hollywood Medium, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And I thought, I've got to do something. I've got to stop thinking about myself so much. I've got to try and do something, be of service, something. So I thought I'll do what Tyler Henry does, and to conjure up dead people, he scribbles on a piece of paper. I wasn't hoping that dead people would come. Obviously, that's not my area. But I was scribbling. I thought,
you don't need the dead when you have all these alive fans. You're doing good.
So I scribbled and scribbled. And I thought I'll scribble and see what happens when I do the scribbling, right? When I scribble. And I scribbled and I thought, I think I've got a little bit of I'll start writing. And anyway, the writing turned into a poem. And then, and it was just basically all about, it was, I don't know what it was about. I can't remember the poem now. It was probably about a cat. I don't know.
A true lesbian. Go ahead.
There you go. So then I switched on Facebook Live and I said, I've just written this poem. I was wearing some scrappy old white, t-shirt and stuff. And people came on, and I think the biggest theme is just authenticity, and how we're all just beautiful human beings. We're divine beings having a human experience. And why don't we just see if we can help each other? That's it, really.
Seriously?
I'd like to say something more profound, but there's nothing really. I mean, I
just think your aura is profound. I just think you could just sit in that square and not say anything. I think we just feel it.
Well, I'm just sitting there having coffee.
So Cheryl, did you know, Fiona, that Cheryl is a medium, a psychic medium?
Very excited. Yeah. Are you getting anything?
Thank you. Well, you were scribbling. We were all scribbling here as you were talking about Tyler Henry. And I'm like, oh, that's a great idea. Because what it does is it moves that conscious right out of the way. It keeps you, it moves the distracted mind out of the way to let the inspiration coming in. But I don't know. I felt a book with you. I felt you were writing a book or putting a book together or getting ready to publish a book or...
I've written. I'm getting ready to publish.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. So fantastic. Because I just felt success around it. There might be more than one, but I know one is a big job. So, don't want to put the cart before the horse, so to speak. But it feels like there might be another one after that, after you have a...
Thank you.
Yeah. Have you thought of that? Yeah.
I have thought of that. Yeah. Keep talking. Keep talking.
Yeah. Thank you.
We should talk more
keep
about
writing.
We should
keep writing. Keep writing.
Thank you.
Scribbling.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
It works for you.
Thanks.
But I think it's really important I always say my mantra is like love, happiness, hope, gratitude, peace, authenticity. They're very simple. It's very simple to sort of, follow just what basic rules, not even rules, what basic emotions and feelings are. And I know we tend to all get caught up sometimes in the rat race and all the bullshit where we sort of complicate our lives. And I think, with Fiona, I think a lot of people that you have helped, we all sit here and we come with baggage. And technically, the healthiest way, which I don't do either, is, have baggage, have a little bit of baggage, have an issue, deal with it. But it's so hard to deal with stuff along the way that we just keep piling and piling and piling stuff into our trunk until we get to a point, and it doesn't necessarily mean an age, just a consciousness where we're like, damn it, I can't do this anymore. I can't take this anymore. And I think the biggest fear with people, the biggest fear is vulnerability and taking down, as you say, that mask to sort of deal with our own inside and go through with sort of our suppressions and our repressions. And I think, taking a step, and it seems like your workshops seem to help people sort of peel away that veil to start to make that first step to deal with things, because we don't think we're all infallible. We all make mistakes, but there's also pride, there's embarrassment, there's shame. But it's like you create a forum for women to sort of sit there, and men and whoever else listens, put their stuff out there, and it's a very safe environment so they can work through things instead of feeling that they have to be someone different to be judged.
I couldn't agree more. And I think that as a minority group, as lesbians, as someone who stayed in the closet pretty much till I was 48, the one of the biggest things that our community carries is so much shame. And so what's been one, I mean, I didn't do the workshop particularly for lesbians, although obviously calling it lesbian lunch didn't help, or did help.
It's a giveaway. Come on.
Yeah.
But that's what's happened is that you know, that lesbians want a forum where they can have, you know, I was going to say intelligent, but that would just be over the top, really, because I don't say anything that clever. But there's it's just a very, I've just found it very moving. Just, you know, that I think that you asked me what I wanted to be when I was younger. I wanted to be Catherine Coleman. Do you know who Catherine Coleman is?
I don't.
She was she was an evangelist who used to like fill big football stadiums, and she had so much power that she could point at people and they'd all fall down, right? Big whole sections of the stadium. So obviously I've got a little bit of grandiosity and some narcissism and so on going on. But
the clubs.
But anyway, so I think that the fact that I shunned lesbianism for as long as I did, and now I get to be this with just just someone who's sort of not a receptacle, but you know, someone who's now, I just feel very honored that lesbians want to be in this group, and you don't have to sign anything, and it's
just have to have sex with you. Is that the deal?
Well, no, obviously they do have to do that.
Oh, I figured.
There's got to be some perks, right? So
it's over Zoom though, so it's, you know.
Oh yeah, you can still.
Well, it's like Zoom sex. I mean, there's Skype sex, Zoom sex, phone sex. You know, there is. I mean, possibilities are endless now with the internet.
It's too funny. Exactly. I mean, you've done Between the Sheets shows about this kind of thing, haven't you, Gaye Ann?
Yes, I have. Between the Sheets is kind of my life.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like, I mean, just like you, I started the show for an outlet, you know, for an outlet to sort of just speak my mind and be comfortable in a safe space that I've created, and putting it out there and really just putting out energy and attracting guests like yourself and co-hosts like Cara and Jenny and Cheryl and Val and Mara and others. And it is a tribe. You know, I mean, it's not like this is like it's not like Scientology. Between the Sheets is not Scientology. Although I did think maybe we should do a church. We could do a 501(c)(3). I have no problem with that. But I mean, it's sort of like a forum for women. And everyone's like, oh, it's just a woman's show. And it's not. And just like you, I mean, we have a large population of men that watch, straight, gay, lesbians, non-lesbians. But I think it's about, you know, kind of the open forum that we all have. Jenny with her shows, Val does it through her writing, Cheryl through her mediumship, Cara through, you know, her even touching people and her work, and Mara through her art. You know, it's a creative form and it's a safe space. And yeah, we're a little nutty, but you know, one thing I pride myself on this show, and I think you do as well, is it's real. It's real. We're real people. We're real women. We don't always agree. We don't always, you know, sometimes we all disagree, but you know, we can have a conversation and show people that, you know, we exist and our thoughts are just as important. So, you know, yeah, I could have made this show, you know, with a couple of guys and some girls, but it was really important to me to make it female centric. And it's not even about a lesbian show. It's not a lesbian show. It's a woman show with it. And some of us happen to be lesbians, because otherwise, as you know, we always get pigeonholed. I mean, Jenny, as a comedian, for you two, both of you, both Fiona and Jenny, as a comedian, you know, are you guys like known as stand-up comedians, or are you guys, the lesbian comedians? And does that prevent both of you from getting work outside of the LGBT community because you're lesbian? I'm just curious. I have no idea.
You go, Jenny.
Well, I remember I came out late in life too. So the first 10 years of my career, when I thought I was a straight girl, I was in the straight clubs. And so then once I came out in life, I started doing more of the gay circuit, if you will, and doing more of those shows. So when I do every once in a while go back into the regular clubs, it's kind of like, oh God, I got to sit through all the homophobic stuff and all that stuff. So I kind of really appreciate where I am now, and I haven't really tried to get into those clubs. But I will tell you, when I started as just a female comedian, I would call the club up if I was trying to route my gigs. Like, oh, I got a gig here and a gig there. The city in between would be great. So I'd call them up and go, hey, I'm going to be there this weekend. Could I do a set? And they'd be like, oh, we already have a girl on the bill that week. It was like, so for me, I got, as far as comedy goes, it was more being a female comedian than that. And then I sort of just put myself into the lesbian community, so it kind of didn't matter then.
Wow.
Fiona, how about your experience?
When I started doing comedy, I didn't mention lesbianism, even though that coming out made me realize that I wanted to perform. But I still had this kind of, it was degrees of outness, and I decided I didn't want to mention being gay. So I did that for a while, and then I wrote a show called A Very British Lesbian. Having that in the title, obviously, again,
was a giveaway.
not subtle.
Yeah,
not.
So I basically define myself now, and I've been really. I started. I didn't do my first set, I don't think, till I was about 55.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You were a late bloomer on a lot of things.
Yeah, so I'm a baby, really. I'm not like a hardened, like Jenny McNulty. I mean,
she hardened. What, Jenny? What are you hardened?
she's a tough. She's been out there and done it.
It's the last time I don't do my hair before I do this show. My God.
Literally, Jenny, if no one knows this, and some of you do, Jenny is a hardcore like sports person. So when she was getting ready for the show, and you saw the green screen and stuff in the back, and she comes and she's got her cap on and her hair was wet. I'm like, it's like I thought like she literally was pulling away from some baseball. I don't even know what sports happened.
Oh, I went for a bike ride and I needed I needed it for my head, Gaye Ann.
I love that look.
Oh, hold on. We have two more callers, one after the other. You ready for them?
It's Lauren again, ghosting.
Laura, and the second one is Linda. So let's get Laura. Hello, Laura.
Hi, hello. Hello, Gaye Ann. Long-time listener, first-time caller. Always wanted to say that. But I have to tell you, when I found Fiona, I was at my wit's end with the isolation and all the animosity that was going on in this country. And I had been an isolator for a long time. And I thought I could handle the isolation, but then it just kind of, it steamrolled me over. And I guess when I found Fiona, things started to turn around, I had a couple friends who kept posting these things about this British lesbian, and they were so happy about it. I thought they'd joined a cult and drank the Kool-Aid or something. But from the first time I tuned in, I felt like I had found the place where I belong with this tribe and with this group of women. And it's not, I don't think it's about being a lesbian. I think it's about women being in a safe place. It's a safe place, whether you're straight, gay, bi, or whatever. No one's going to judge you for that. And everybody is so accepting and so nurturing and so encouraging that you can't help but kind of work on yourself, and come out of your isolation and start including other human beings in your life.
Well, thank you.
So, and I'm going to continue as long as it continues. I'll be there.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you, Fiona. Thank you, Fiona.
Calling in. I appreciate it.
So welcome.
You're welcome.
I think we have Lisa next on the line? Lisa. Lisa, you're there?
Hi. Are you, am I coming through?
Yes, you are. This is Gaye Ann, and welcome to Between the Sheets.
Oh, hi. My name isn't Lisa. It's actually DK Linda.
Oh, DK Linda. I remember you.
Yeah, how are you?
Good. How are you? Welcome to the show. I mean, welcome to the show. Welcome.
We were neighbors for a minute.
Boca. For a minute, yeah. When I had my aunt's house for a year, and then I sold it because I didn't want to go live in Boca. I don't even want to go back to Boca.
Okay. I was actually calling to mention how excited I am about Fiona's book eventually coming out, but I'm glad you all discussed that already. I wanted to say, I loved what Laura just said. I wanted to also mention how Fiona has been a literal bright light in what was a bit of a dark time in the initial days of COVID. I personally believe that she put out her intention and manifested all of us who found her and needed her. And I'm just so happy for her success, and I'm happy for everyone in the workshops. I'm just so thrilled, and it's so positive, and it's so wonderful. Thank you, Fiona, for everything. My question actually is for everybody, though, on the panel. How are you guys coping during COVID? How has it changed your lives and your profession, your careers? How's everybody doing?
All right, I'll take it really quick. My job, I'm back. I'm back to being on set. I'm happy. I dyed my hair red, so I'm becoming a whole different woman. I just, one thing that has kept me through this is I've kept being social. I've reached out to people. I've been on Facebook. I am a social person. So I've kept that up, because if I didn't, I don't do well alone. My head is, it's a really interesting place to be. So for me, distracted, I have to keep social, and I did, and I have. So, and now that my job is back, I'm like 100% back. So I've never really felt the COVID depression or COVID whatever, because I just purposely needed to push to be social. Jenny, your turn.
I started doing my talk show. I started doing that 5 days a week. I was doing it at 1 o'clock. I finally in September back down to Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And for me, initially, it's career that's done now for 2 years. There's no way, I don't think comedy clubs are going to open up in the same way, at least. So for me, that was, a given mentally from March. And when I started doing the show, and then it was about 3 weeks ago, I emotionally caught up to that. And it was the weirdest thing. My cousin worked in Broadway, and she was a kid wrangler for plays. So that's what she did. Like when there's plays that have a lot of children in them, she made sure that they all got their schooling done and took care of them. And she was just posted this really long thing about how she really missed going to work and missed being backstage and the excitement and hearing the songs, even though she's heard them 100 times. And that, I read that post, and then I was watching some show, and it was some weird crossing shot. It was just people walking, but it was, they weren't masked. They were just people hanging out. And it was like, it took 6 months for me to emotionally catch up with what's going on. And I've been like depressed as shit for like the last 3 weeks. That's why I had to take my bike ride. I'm sorry I was tardy, but it's just been for me very strange, because I just kind of just put everything into that show and just kind of pumped out the crazy like shows. So that's what I was, just work. And then when I did back off, it all hit me. So should have kept working.
Tara?
Well, for me, I got divorced in February, and that was all very sudden and quite shocking. So I was going through a time when I was going inside anyway and spending a lot of time alone. So I actually, in a way, I made the most of it. I got more discipline when it came to exercise. I finished my big mosaic that I have is all done on the wall there. It's 4 foot by 6. I threw myself into a lot of things, and plus I'm a voice artist, and bizarrely I seem to have actually a little bit more work than I used to have. I don't really know why that is, which isn't loads, but I mean, no, you know, I kind of take it in my stride, and I walk and I laugh and I enjoy the sunshine and the trees, and then sometimes I just have to wail because, you know, like Jenny, we're in deep shock. We're just getting through this thing, but we're in deep shock. Everybody is, I think.
Mara?
Okay.
Mara?
Oh, okay. I couldn't hear you. For me, it hit me right away, the depression. Right away. I started overeating to cope. The gym was closed. I didn't have any equipment really in my house. So I was stuffing my emotions, put on like 10 pounds. And then on July, I decided that I couldn't keep living like this. So I got a stationary bike, and then I have been just completely working out and eating right again, and I feel much better. But every day I get a little bit depressed, but then like Jenny, I get on my bike, and that's just saves me. A good workout is always like a savior for me. And it's clarity when you're sweating so much and you're getting those endorphins going. So yeah.
Has your art changed, Mara?
Yeah, I think, well, I've been getting more requests to do certain things that from clients that aren't really my cup of tea. My cup of tea is really drawing portraits of people, and I've been getting a couple requests that are different. Like one was very sci-fi, to do this big sci-fi painting, and then I'm doing another one of all dogs. It's just tons of French bulldogs, which is really challenging.
Fun. I want to see all of this stuff.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see how your style has changed or adapted to COVID. Cheryl, how have you been coping?
Well, actually, fortunately, it's kind of similar, kind of the same, guys, because I was already doing my mediumship readings on Zoom and by the phone. You know, the only thing that changed for me was I couldn't go out and do my public demonstrations anymore. So that affected me just a little bit. But then I got more work on Zoom or phone call readings. So it's actually been pretty beneficial. And I got to tell you, the connections I've made with my close friends, we've even gotten closer, you know, I mean, really just sharing, maybe the same for you guys, just really deeper conversations, more heart to heart, more calls even. So it's been a good thing, really, just bringing me and my family and friends closer.
I agree.
Yeah, just having the time.
And Val?
Oh, y'all might not want to hear mine because I'm really very honest. Alcohol. Some of us know how to do that, but anyway, so it's all good. You know, I have that shirt that's all over the internet that says day drinking because 2020 sucks. That I've gained 20 pounds. Now I'm doing everything that y'all are doing and working out and trying to eat right. And I'm not going to stop drinking, but it does keep me sane. That's
Val, I expect you to continue to keep drinking because it gives me an excuse when we see each other to drink.
I've been hanging with Tanya, man.
Oh, yeah. Of course you have. Do me, baby, do me. And Fiona? Obviously, I think the answer to the question is that's been echoed, you know, throughout all the people that have called is this is how you found your outlet.
Yeah, I did. And really, I mean, I've been ready for COVID since I was 15. I just, you know, indoors, no friends, and just, you know, eating food. So I'm good. But I'm kind of worried about when it opens up, you know. I think we'll be rushing out.
Well, the thing is, you know what, believe it or not, I mean, I think like we'll be more honest, I think we'll be more balanced. As weird as that sounds, I think we'll all be probably much more grounded when this, I mean, I hope to be 10 more pounds thinner. Because then
won't see you then, Gaye Ann. You'll shrink away.
No, I'm not. You know, everyone keeps saying I'm skinny. Like, No, the skinny will never be a word used for me. If I stand up, I'm skinny from the waist up, but eventually this will sort of whatever. People like use that. Forget it. Anyway, who gives a shit? I'm a size 6 and I have never been a size 6 in my life. So I am excited. So there.
Started this between the sheets, this between the sheets 3, you've lost 35 pounds.
I have. Yeah.
That's amazing.
I have.
Amazing.
I have. But you know what? But it is because again, COVID made me think, because everyone's like, how'd you go on a diet? I didn't diet. I hate the word diet. I hate it because the minute I hear diet, it's a negative, and then I don't want to follow it. So I decided, I met someone, she was a vegetarian, and she helped, she was sort of plugging on me and trying to show me what more healthy eating is. I tried to go vegan. I just can't go vegan because it's a lot. I'd rather do vegetarian because it's easier. Just because vegan, it's a whole bunch of stuff you can't really eat, and then fake stuff, and it doesn't taste good. But what happened was, for me, because I know Jenny is a vegan, and I'm not. I'd rather be a vegetarian than a vegan right now. Who knows what a year from now will be? But what I realized is, I cook better. I cook at home. I just am more conscious, and it's not a diet. I tell people it's more of a healthy lifestyle, a healthy way to do what I do. I mean, I bought an electric bike. I hike. I eat better. I've completely cut sugar out of my diet. I've completely cut sodium as much as I can, unless it's found in some foods, out of my diet. But the other thing is, when I want something, I don't deprive myself of it. If I want McDonald's French fries, as gross as it sounds, but sometimes I will go through a drive and I'll get the tiny little one and I'll have 2 or 3, and it satisfies that memory imprint of what it tastes like, and then I'm done. So, I mean, if anything, yes, there was the COVID, 15 or whatever, but I think now that we're kind of gone, I think people like Mara, you and others, we're kind of like, okay, all right, let's now get back. I mean, I'm out of the shock. Let's get back into a program and a focus program. And I think what COVID has done is maybe brought people back to center, maybe a little focused. And the people that sort of, aren't as right brain, left brain balance as some, they found Mara's art, Val, your what you do in the entertainment, Jenny, your comedy, Fiona, your poetry, me, my podcast, Cheryl, your mediumship. So I think every single person on this earth has a gift and has a value to impart on people. We're just really fortunate that we have a forum to have people tap into. So I go out to all of you people. Everyone matters. You guys matter. Every single one of you. It doesn't matter if you have a podcast or a stage or whatever. You matter. So even if it's talking to a neighbor, everyone has value. So never devalue yourself. Never. Because it's all about love. And if you come from that point of love and appreciation and gratitude, then you only will be that sparkly sunshine. And then the people who you're a sparkly sunshine to, you'll be their rainbow unicorn. It's all about symbiosis. It's about crossing. It's about cross-pollinating. So next time you feel lonely, listen to Fiona. Next time you feel lonely, listen to Jenny. Next time you feel lonely, listen to Between the Sheets. Next time you're lonely, call Cheryl and get a reading. Valerie, read Hollywood Times. Cara, look at her Facebook page. She has some beautiful. And Mara, ask Mara to, maybe commission something for you in an art. It's all about sharing now. And it's not about being selfish. And it really is community. And we are truly all in this together. Truly we are. So let's stick together, everybody. And on that note, our time has come to say goodnight. Fiona, I just want to thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Have you cut out alcohol?
Have I cut out alcohol? You know what? I was never really a drinker to begin with. I mean, smoking's a whole other story, but I'm conquering that. I'm trying. That's the hardest. Not pot, like cigarettes. I'm trying. I stop for months and then I start again. I guess that's my safety net. I don't know why. I mean, maybe, I don't know. But alcohol has never been my choice. I'll drink it. I'll have a glass of wine, but I am a lightweight. So, like a glass and a half, and either I'm laughing hysterically and then 2 seconds later, give me a bed because I want to go to sleep. So, but it's okay. But we all, and that's another thing, everybody pick your poison. We're not perfect, and don't get on yourself for picking whatever that poison is. If it gets you through the day, fine. And again, I don't advocate excess of anything, but I think, we all have to just find something, and if it's smoking cigarettes, smoking pot, drinking alcohol, exercising, I mean, it's positive and negative. So, just be careful and cautious with whatever you do. Excess is where the issue is. Excess of anything is where the issue is. So if we just stay grounded and balanced, I think we could do everything if we want. I mean, like I wouldn't do ayahuasca every week, but for the experience that I had, it was the worst experience that I ever had. But on the flip side, I tell everyone, it was the most life-changing, profound experience that I could ever have. So again, something that I look at as, I'll never fucking do that again. For the time that I did it, it really broke my core to get to a place where I needed to come to sort of evolve on my journey. And that was my choice, but there are other choices out there. So, enough of my soapbox. I'm always on the fucking soapbox. But anyway, so Fiona.
Yay.
You have beautiful blue eyes.
Beautiful blue eyes. But again, just in case anybody missed it.
Because I just want to say thank you. Thank you for joining us on the show. It was long overdue. Thank you for what you do in the community. Thank you for what you do outside of the community, lives that you've touched, your brilliance, your compassion, your kindness, your gratitude in giving back. It's selfless. So thank you. Thank you for what you do.
Thank you, Gaye Ann, and thank you. Yeah.
And where can people find you? Let's get your plug in now.
Okay, so my website is FionaGoodwin.com. On Facebook, if you want to join the Facebook page, the Monday and Fridays, just go to A Very British Lesbian Facebook page and just like it, and then you will, if you go on there, it's at 1:00 on a Monday and a Friday. And and the workshops, you can find out about the workshops from the Facebook page.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you so much. Really, I do appreciate it. Jenny McNulty.
I am doing my shows also at 1:00, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and on my Facebook page. So the name you see right there, Jenny McNulty, add fan to that. So go to Facebook, Jenny McNulty fan, 1:00. And then I've got Pandemic Password, which Gaye Ann is going to be on this Monday at 4:00 also on my page, which is just a fun, silly, crazy game show. So thank you.
Thank you, Jenny. You're so cute with the little baseball cap. Your girlfriend's so lucky. I
try to tell them that often.
Yeah, I'm sure. Val Milano, thank you for joining us today. Tell us about the Hollywood Times, where people can find you. Tell us.
We have everything entertainment, sports, television, radio, podcasts. We do reviews. And so it's called the Hollywood Times, thehollywoodtimes.today. So follow us, like us, comment, come write, come listen, come watch. Let's do this together, this family that we have.
And thank you for the release that you guys wrote today to promote tonight's show and to promote and just promote us. So thank you, Valerie. Thank you. Another one who's selfless in the community. Thank you. Cara Noble.
Yes, hi. I just want to say to Fiona, we must be missing pantomime this year, right? No panto to go and visit. But we have the election coming up. Yeah. So that's going to make up for it. Because I think every week it's going to get crazier and crazier. Just think about the 3 crazy things that happened this week. and we're not even in November yet. What a country! Both our
But everybody, everybody vote. I mean, seriously, go vote. I mean, of course, you're going to hear me say vote blue because that's who I am. But in any event, I think it's our right to vote. However you vote, just don't throw away the vote. Bernie's not running. Don't write his name in. No, I mean, just either vote for fucking Trump or fucking Biden. Okay, don't write anybody else's name. They lost.
We're in California. It doesn't make a difference. But,
well, I know, but I'm just talking to people out there. This is not a California show. Have your voice out there. And really, don't write anybody's name in. It's bullshit. It's either Bernie, and that's Bernie. Sorry, God. No, I'm glad he's gone. It's either Biden or Trump. Pick.
It does matter though, because we got to get a total number of, it's got to be a blowout. Otherwise they're going to say it wasn't, it was this. And Eric Trump even said, if it were a total blowout, we'd accept it. So, hey, challenge accepted. Let's do it.
Challenge accepted. Something just came through on News Alert about Kelly Conway about COVID, but I couldn't read because I was trying to pay attention. So I don't know what's going on with her. Mara Shane.
What it meant.
Huh? What?
You just learned what it meant.
Yeah, right. Mara.
Yes. Thank you for this opportunity. I love being on your show, Gaye Ann, and you can find me in various places. One is marashaneart.com. You can find me on Facebook, Mara Shane, and also on Facebook, Mara Shane Custom Designs.
Well, and obviously, because you're diverting into dogs and cats and industrial.
Well,
so now it's a whole bunch of designs.
Yes. I have to expand what I'm able to do. I can't be like a one-trick pony.
Well, you're not a trick. No one. Nara will never be anybody's trick. Because I'm her big sister. That'll never happen.
But no, really, thank you. Thank you, Fiona. And I just love this group of people. You guys are my people. Thanks so much.
So we all have our own tribe, and eventually all the tribes, everybody has tribes. The tribes of like minds will intersect. So now the Fionians know between the Sheetsians and vice versa. And then we've got more Ians coming up. And then we're all the McNultyans, the Milanoans, the Nobleans, the Murphyans. I mean, it's, we all find look, we all are burning the same light. And everybody who's burning the same light, we ultimately all find each other, which goes right into spirituality. And there we go, Cheryl Murphy.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you. You can reach me on my website, which is mediumcheryl.com. I have some great events coming up online, October 17th and then November 7th. And then also my Facebook page is at Medium Cheryl. So great to be here. I want to ditto what Mara said. So it's great to be with this tribe.
Thank you. Everyone out there, thank you so much for joining us. We're on the first and third Friday of every month at 7 p.m. Pacific here on the United Broadcasting Network, or UBNO. Please follow us, follow me on Instagram, QTEBrat, like the Facebook page, Between the Sheets Podcast, on Facebook. I just want to say thank you. Thank you all for tuning in. Even the Fionians. I mean, I'm glad we've met them all. And it's a wonderful, wonderful tribe. I can't wait to see your flag. And your pins. I mean, Fiona for president. I think that's coming soon. But I just thank you, everyone out there listening. If this is your first time watching Between the Sheets, I hope you'd enjoyed it. And I hope you share and listen and pass it along and continue. The third, I can't believe it's October already. The third Friday in October. I don't have any guests yet, so I'm trying to find somebody good, somebody fun. Thank you all for tuning into the Sharon Gless show 2 weeks ago. She just sends her love. I was talking to her the other day. She must have called me 5 times to say thank you. I mean, seriously, like who the hell does that? But, as I always said, it's all about love, love, love in the world. It's always about compassion, kindness, support, gratitude, peace. I always like to say hugs, and I always give you guys a virtual hug because we can't hug for reals anymore. But I know you can. I know, Cara. I'll probably hug you on Sunday. Yes, I will. So, but put your best foot forward. It doesn't matter what other people think, as long as you have this in your heart, and it emanates out. then you will attract the right people, just like we've attracted each other. So always be who you are. Don't change. Don't let anyone try and change you. Don't fit the square in the peg. Find other pegs or other squares. And on that note, everybody, be safe, be well, follow the rules, whatever your rules are. And as always, thank you. Thank you, Tony, for running the boards tonight. And as always, namaste. Have a great night. Cue the song, Tony. Bye, everybody. Thank you. See you in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
Bye. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.